Hello, and welcome to Food in Art, a wonderful opportunity for you to get a taste of how two human concerns, nourishment and beauty, have blended together through the centuries to create masterpieces. I'm art historian Elizabeth Lev, and I hope that you'll enjoy these bite-sized pieces of fun, facts, faith, and beauty about food. A delightful still life, cherries in a silver compote with crab apples, by a remarkable artist. Her name was Fede Galizia, and she was among the first group of women artists to break into the world of professional painting. She was born in Milan in 1578, and although she would also make her way in doing history paintings, Fede Galizia was primarily specialized in doing still life. Women entered into art in the 16th century in a much more dramatic way. This had much to do with the development of oil paint, which slow drying and relatively expensive nature allowed women to experiment, learn, produce art in private, and eventually be able to sell art and make a living as artists alongside men. Still lives were easier for women because they avoided the problem, the social problem, of needing to use models, both male and female, to represent history painting, which would be paintings of biblical or mythological stories. So Fede Galizia, a woman who never married, who dedicated her entire life to her art, really specialized in making these beautiful plates, small, elegant images of fruits and flowers. Here we see this lovely piled high tray of cherries. Cherries, which by the way, are very common in northern Italy. The entire area of Vignola, which is not very far from Milan, was well known for its production of cherries. Cherries, however, have a more exotic origin. They take us all the way to Anatolia, Turkey, where cherries were first found and brought into Greece and Rome through trade. Cherries then take on a greater meaning in the history of Christian art. You can often find cherries perhaps scattered on a table, indicative of drops of blood. The most charming and pleasant association with cherries, which seems to be evoked by Fede Galizia's lovely silver stand here, is one of the most popular mystery plays from the 15th century, the story of the Nativity, where as Mary and Jesus and Joseph are escaping to Egypt, they stop for a moment of respite, a little pause in the horrors of escaping the soldiers of Herod. During that respite, Mary asks for some cherries that are growing in a nearby tree. And in the more famous version of the mystery play, a tired put-upon Joseph says, "Let the father of the baby gather cherries for the child." Clearly an apocryphal story, because the Joseph we know from the Bible is always accommodating, always willing to help. But this folk vision, imagining what a normal man would do in the situation, creates a Joseph who is feeling aggressive. The Christ child in this beautiful play, which then became a very lovely song, causes the bow to bend and leave the cherries in Mary's hand. So that abundance, that beautiful abundance of cherries, brings to mind this song, this play, this moment of spontaneous delight and manifestation of love on the part of the Lord to the Blessed Virgin. In the midst of this lovely moment of this glistening fruit and the few crab apples off in the corner, we can see an exquisitely painted butterfly with its almost transparent wings resting right on top of a leaf, something that captures the briefest of moments before the butterfly flies away. The butterfly, indeed, is a very short-lived creature. And in fact, this plate of cherries, this wonderful moment that seems so luxurious, is a reminder that these are just moments, that this world is just a moment, and that it passes and flies away just like the butterfly itself.